Hello, I'm Eric Roby.
And I'm Kristin Lagana. Welcome to Anne Arundel County Week in Review. We're back from the fun and the food of the county fair, and it's time to get back down to business.
Where's my funnel cake? Wait.
I didn't get your funnel cake.
You didn't, I told you. Before we left the fair on Thursday, I said I need a funnel cake, powdered sugar. And did you get it?
Samson ate it.
Samson the camel, folks.
Oh gosh. Today we'll tell you how to book your wedding at Quiet Waters Park, and we'll chat with an expert about how technology is being used to stop drunk driving. But first, making headlines. Attention pet lovers, Animal Control is about to make it even easier for you to adopt dogs and cats in need of a home. The County Council approved legislation this month that will allow the shelter to waive adoption fees during special events. That means for special occasions, you will be able to adopt a furry friend for free. That's right, say that one 3 times fast.
A furry friend for free.
Fast.
Look at me. No, that's as fast as I go.
A furry friend for free, a furry friend for free, a furry friend for free.
Free furry friend.
Got it.
Say it backwards now.
No way.
All right.
Now, Animal Control is already the cheapest deal in town. Adoption fees, which include spaying and neutering, range from $26 for a male cat to $56 for a female dog. You can't beat these prices anywhere, especially considering the spay and neutering can cost upwards of $100 at a private vet. Now, we're not sure what kind of pet you're looking for, but browsing is easy. Be sure to like Animal Control on Facebook. The link is on the right-hand side of our page, and there are regular updates as new pets come in, as well as lots of helpful tips about caring for your pets and information about free rabies clinics. Folks, these animals need your help. The cat population is a particular problem because so many people don't get their cats spayed or neutered and leave them outside. Please check out Animal Control today, and we'll let you know when the first free adoption drive is scheduled.
You know they have all kind of pets there. Everybody thinks Animal Control, it's cats and dogs. No! They've got chickens, they've got snakes, they've got rabbits, they've got everything. They've got camels.
Yeah, and the kids get so excited about guinea pigs. They don't have camels?
No.
I want a camel.
No, just camels at the fair.
I want a camel.
Kissing camels that kiss Kristin. Can you say that 3 times fast?
Kissing camels that kiss Kristin. Kissing camels that kiss Kristin. Kissing camels that kiss Kristin.
All right. Wow. Okay. She's talented, folks. Who can turn down a free pet? Well, we're going to move on from pets to pests. And no, we're not talking about our producer, Dave Abrams.
Oh.
We're talking about the West Nile virus that's been a problem again this year. And we have some helpful tips for you to avoid it. 4 cases have been reported of people contracting the disease, and 2 people in the state have died from it. The Maryland Department of Agriculture has stepped up mosquito spraying in the county in an attempt to fight the bugs off. But spraying's not a foolproof solution. So what can you do? Here are a few tips. Try to remove any standing water from your yard. These are breeding sites for mosquitoes. If you need to dispose of a dead bird, don't touch it with your hands. Birds are carriers of the disease. Wear long sleeves or pants when possible when working in the yard or when your kids are out playing. Use repellents containing DEET. Consult a physician before applying it on children. Most people who have West Nile virus will not immediately show symptoms, but they are flu-like in nature and include fever, headaches, body aches, skin rashes, and swollen glands. Symptoms usually appear between a few days after a bite from an infected mosquito to a week after the bite has occurred. Senior citizens are particularly at risk and should try to avoid contact with mosquitoes. Of course, there's no need to panic. The number of cases are very low, so just be cautious if you're outdoors. If you have symptoms, call your regular doctor. If you'd like to inquire about spraying in your neighborhood, you can call the Maryland Department of Agriculture at 410-841-5870.
Yuck. I hate mosquitoes.
They don't like you too much either.
Yeah, well, whatever. Let's talk about something fun.
All right.
Have you seen this new YouTube video?
YouTube?
Yeah.
What's that?
Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style?
Gangnam Style.
What's that mean?
It's called Gangnam Style, and it's actually about the neighborhood Gangnam in Seoul, Korea. There's an artist there named Psy, and he has made this video.
That's the name of my cat, Psy.
Really?
We call him, his name's Simon. We call him Psy.
Okay,
Do you think he's in a Gangnam video?
No, I don't think he's in the video.
Okay.
But we have our midshipmen. Our midshipmen have been in it, and it has gone viral. Get it?
Oh,
connection with your West Nile story.
Wow.
It's Gangnam Style, and this is something that is all over the web right now. Again, this video has been reenacted by our midshipmen, and it has topped 1.4 million hits. Let's take a look.
Kind of like as many people as watch Week in Review.
That's right, 1.4 million.
심장이 터져버리는 선어해 그런 선어
Wow. Kristin, next week we're doing that dance.
I'm
and then
gonna do
our
it.
video is going to go viral. The whole world's going to be able to see us here. Well, the video for the actual song produced by the artist has had, wait for it, 221 million views. Just think how many new viewers we could get maybe next week.
221 million?
Well, maybe just because you're doing the Gangnam dance. I can't dance. Folks, there's more Week in Review to come. You don't want to see us dance, including our interview with Christine Nizer of the Maryland Motor Vehicles Administration about the interlock device. But first, take a look at our community calendar for upcoming events around our county. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
And welcome back, folks. Well, every year we hear tragic stories about deaths on our highways from alcohol-related crashes. So we thought today we'd bring in Deputy Administrator for Central Operations for the Department of Motor Vehicles, long title for Christine Nizer. And Christy's going to tell us a little bit about the Ignition Interlock program today. This is a program that's been in effect since the late 80s, early 90s in the state of Maryland, and we've seen a lot of success with this program.
Yes, it's a great program to help still enable people to drive, but to drive safely when they've had an alcohol violation. The law has been in effect, as you said, since 1989, but we've made a lot of advancements here lately. As far back as 2008, we had only 5,000 participants in the program. We're up to close to 11,000 at this point, and we consider that a success because we know that if you suspend or revoke someone's license, there's a high probability that they're still going to be driving. And if they have alcohol issues, they're still going to be driving with alcohol, which is a danger to themselves and to everyone else on the roadway. We really see Ignition Interlock as a highway safety measure and a way to improve and eliminate, hopefully, those tragic deaths we see every year. So we're very proud of our program in Maryland.
So the Ignition Interlock system, kind of walk us through for our viewers. Some folks don't know what this device is, but I understand if someone is convicted of driving while under the influence of alcohol, one of the options that the court system has is to require that they install one of these systems in their car. And exactly what does this system entail?
Certainly. Yes, the device is actually hooked into the car's ignition, and the individual has to blow into the device in order to enable the vehicle to start. They're also required to randomly blow into the vehicle during the time in which they're driving, and that's to make sure, one, that they didn't have somebody else start the car and they really still have alcohol in their system, and to make sure they're continuing to safely drive along the roadway. And the system monitors every time they breathe into it. That information is recorded electronically, and they return to an Ignition Interlock vendor that provided them that device every 30 days to get that information downloaded. That information is then sent to the Motor Vehicle Administration so we can tell whether they're complying with the rules of the program or whether they have any violations, meaning they tried to start the car with alcohol in their system, they tried to interfere with the operation of the system by disengaging it. Any of those kind of things would show up as violations, and that would require them to stay on the program for an additional 30 days.
And now, Christy, if someone is convicted of a drunk driving offense, what are the benefits of having interlock as an option for those folks that are found guilty in court? Sometimes you do get interlock as an option to use, and what are the benefits of that?
Certainly, it allows somebody to continue working and supporting their family and those kind of things. We see a lot of cases where individuals, frankly, are happy to have the Ignition Interlock on their vehicle because it allows them to continue to do the things they need to do to be productive members of society and not have that suspension or revocation on their license. We've seen cases where individuals have told us, it changed my life, because what happens is you get into that pattern of making good decisions, not starting the vehicle with alcohol in your blood. And hopefully that pattern stays even after the Ignition Interlock device comes off your vehicle, that you truly change your behavior, because that's our goal.
Absolutely, and what are some of the fees that are associated with having interlock put on your vehicle?
At the Motor Vehicle Administration, you need to get a corrected license, so there's a fee associated with that, $20 fee, as well as a $47 fee for our requirements for participating in the program. Then you pay a fee, the participant pays a fee directly to the vendor initially for that installation, approximately $100, but it varies from vendor to vendor. And then they pay a monthly fee. Every time they go to have the data downloaded, they'll pay a fee as well.
And we understand that, this is a great system. It's a wonderful tool to use to keep people safe on the highways. And you talked about changing people's lives along the way. There's been talk and discussions that I've heard, and we talked a little bit about it off camera, of mandating this system in every vehicle out there. I mean, I know that may be far off in the horizon, but can you tell us a little bit about some of the discussions that's occurred on this topic?
Definitely, it's an interesting area of research, and attempts are being made to see the best way from a technology standpoint to put this into the vehicle, whether it's through touch, whether it's through reading individuals' breath in the vehicle to see if there's any alcohol in the system. There are definitely a lot of efforts on the national level to look at research and really to put it in every vehicle, not just in those individuals who, frankly, it could be too late after the alcohol violation occurred because they could have injured themselves or killed someone else. And so we want to prevent those things from even happening. So that's the attempt of the research, to find a way to put it in every vehicle and not allow the vehicle to start if there is alcohol in the system.
Well, Christy, thanks for coming on the show. The ignition interlock system, folks, keeping motorists safe out there and changing people's lives. Christy, thanks for all that you and your staff do over at Motor Vehicle Administration to keep everybody safe out on the roadways. Folks, we're going to go ahead and take a break, but when we come back, there'll be more Week in Review. Stay with us.
Hey, my name's Katie and I'm in the 9th grade. I'm an A average student and I'm an athlete working towards a scholarship. And everybody tells me how much potential I have. But I just wish someone would tell me where my next meal is coming from. Katie, how'd I do?
Do you have to be so serious?
Well, I mean, I did like a crazy dance in a movie if you want me to do a little, no.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Welcome back. Well, while we were out having fun at the fair and eating funnel cakes, well, maybe not because someone forgot to bring one back, our correspondents kept filing their community spotlights, so we have a backlog, Kristin. So first up will be Carolyn Ryan, who has information about how to book your special day, your wedding, of course, at Quiet Waters Park. Carolyn.
Quiet Waters Park is one of Anne Arundel County's favorite places to go and hang out, whether it's to walk the trails or come to one of the free summer concerts. But did you also know that Quiet Waters is a great place to host your next event? I'm here with Chanel Clemens in the Blue Heron Center at Quiet Waters Park. Thanks for being on the show, Chanel.
Thanks for having me.
Now tell us about all the different types of events that you could hold here at Quiet Waters Park.
You could hold your wedding reception here, your wedding ceremony here, as well as memorial services, birthday parties, holiday parties. I think I said memorial services, but business meetings are really popular, especially retreats. You can rent boat rentals, bike rentals, and if it's during the winter, you can do ice skating party too as well. Outdoor pavilions if you want to have a cookout for your family reunion. If you want to get married for a nice wedding on the water at the South River Overlook, you can do that. And we also have a very scenic look over the Serena Pond at the South River Overlook and the Lighthouse Gazebo. So please join us anytime. We'll be glad to have your event here.
Great. Now, you mentioned some of the other places. I'm picturing like maybe a wedding on the ice. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
Now, how can people get information about hosting their event here?
You can call us at 410-222-1777 or reach us online at aacounty.org/rec and parks.
Great. Now, there's also, I think, online, there's a calendar. You can see when the different areas of the park are available. So it's very interactive, very easy for people to get online and find out that information.
Yes, it is. Yes. Very easy to do that. And if you have trouble finding us online, just give us a call and leave us your email address, and we'll send you those links in the email to help you get there quicker.
Great. Well, for your next event, your next party, maybe wedding, come on out to Quiet Waters Park. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Carolyn. Maybe Cy can come to Quiet Waters Park, and not my cat.
That'd be fun.
He'd do his little video there.
I wouldn't want him to come to my wedding.
No?
He'd show me up.
He would show. What, are you going to sing at your wedding?
No, but if I dance, well, yeah, I'm going to obviously sing at my wedding. In fact, I probably won't dance with the man the entire time. I'll just sing. It'll be a big show. But seriously,
we're not talking about Kristin and her wedding anymore. No.
Yeah, 2050. Mark it on your calendars.
2050. Everybody's invited.
Speaking of silly dancers, our own Mark Chang has a preview of an event where job seekers can shuffle on up to North County to find a new gig. Mark?
Thanks to both of you in the studio. I'm over here at the Northern Anne Arundel County Chamber of Commerce. There's a great event coming up for folks who are looking at changing careers or maybe starting a business. And with me today I have Richard Bach and also Fran Schmidt from the Northern Anne Arundel County Chamber of Commerce, the CEO. It's always great to see you both on the show. First of all, I'd like to start off with you, Richard. Could you tell us about your company, FranNet, and the concept behind it?
FranNet is the nation's oldest consulting firm. Franchise consulting firm. But what we're really about is education. We like to help people understand that owning your own business is a great alternative to a traditional career. So we help people explore business ownership, teach them about all the different options, and then expand a little bit on the third and probably the safest option, which is franchising.
Okay, great. And what types of folks would be a great demographics for this type of program?
Yeah, that's a great question because people who don't think about it really are a great audience. The obvious audience are people who are out of work, and they'll think that they can't do it because they worry about the cost, whereas we can show businesses that you can invest $50,000, all total investment, and do very well in a franchise business. So it is viable for people who are out of work. The other kinds of people we like to talk to are people who just don't like their job. A recent survey that was released by Forbes magazine tells us that 65% of people either are dissatisfied or very dissatisfied with their job. So why work at something that you don't like doing when you could be your own boss and make a salary that you want to make and have security for your family and not worry, as is often the case, of having to lose that job? Because people who are out of work and find a new job today, the data says that 2.5 years from now they're going to be looking for another job.
Okay.
We're also interested in talking to veterans. For franchising, veterans are a great audience. The franchise industry wants veterans to apply. The Small Business Administration has special finance programs for veterans. The franchise industry offers discounts on franchise fees to veterans, so they're a great audience. And then finally, people who are looking for additional income. Could be somebody that's got a full-time job, doesn't want to give it up, or perhaps a spouse who needs to stay home but wants to have a business. There are businesses that are semi-absentee that are designed to be managed in 10 or 20 hours a week that you don't have to go in and punch a clock every day and yet can still be profitable. So there's a lot of people that we'd like to see.
Absolutely, Richard. And for folks out there who want more information about FranNet or the company, how can they get a hold of you?
They can get in touch with me at frannet.com, and FranNet has 2 N's. And if they go frannet.com/Arbach, they'll get right to my website.
Okay, great. You have a telephone number?
It's 410-459-3890.
Okay, well, thanks so much about the information on FranNet, and shifting to another Fran Schmidt, the Chief Executive Officer of Northern Anne Arundel County Chamber of Commerce. It's always great to have you on the show, and Richard just got done talking about the whole program and the concept. Could you let the viewers out there when, where is this going to be held?
Sure. This is such a wonderful opportunity for everybody, and we want you to come. It is going to be at La Fontainebleau on Tuesday, October the 2nd. We'll start at 8:15 in the morning. We'll have coffee so you can wake up. Our franchisers will have display tables so you'll get to network with some people. You'll get to meet some of these national franchisers that are going to be there. And then we'll actually go in for a seminar. Richard has a wonderful program that he's going to present. Also want to let you know that this is supported by Anne Arundel Economic Development is going to be there. Bob Hannon will be there to welcome everyone. SBA, SCORE. This is really to help people in this area. You know, we're the Chamber of Commerce. We're all about business. Absolutely. We want to see businesses grow in Anne Arundel County, and especially the northern part of the county.
Absolutely, Fran. And what's the telephone number that viewers can call to get more information?
Okay, if you have any questions at all, call me at the Chamber of Commerce, 410-766-8282.
Okay, thanks so much, Fran, and thanks so much, Richard of FranNet. So we got a lot of Frans here, but it's definitely a wonderful event, and as the economy continues to recover, there's plenty of opportunities out there. So for folks out there who might be interested in this program, we hope to see you out there. Reporting from the Northern Anne Arundel County Chamber of Commerce office in Glen Burnie, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Mark. With the economy being as tough as it is, these events are great ways to have the jobs come to you. So everybody head on out to this event on October 2nd.
Well, on September 17, 2012, at approximately midnight, 12 a.m., officers from the Western District responded to the 1700 block of Richfield Drive in Severn for a report of 3 suspects damaging a vehicle. Joining us now is Public Information Officer Justin Mulcahy with more details on the investigation. Justin.
Suspects immediately left the scene with the vehicle that was being damaged. A description of the vehicle was broadcast. Officers canvassed the area and located the suspects and vehicle at the Royal Farm Store, located at the intersection of Route 175 and Blue Water Boulevard. The suspects were immediately taken into custody. Now, further investigation confirmed that that vehicle was stolen, and a witness positively identified the suspects, who were placed under arrest and charged accordingly. All 3 were charged with theft under $10,000, rogue and vagabond, malicious destruction of property, and unlawful taking of a motor vehicle. Now, additionally, suspect Alvin Prue, who became combative on numerous occasions and assaulted several officers, was charged with failure to obey a lawful order, 2 counts, second-degree assault on a law enforcement officer, along with second-degree attempted escape, disorderly conduct, and open alcohol container. That's Alvin Theodore Prue. The suspect's 33 years old, of 1826 Richfield Drive in Severn, Maryland. The other 2 suspects were not revealing their names, as they were 17-year-old male juveniles from Severn. Folks, we're going to move on to our second incident. That one took place on September 14th, about 3:17 in the morning. That's when officers from the Western District midnight shift were on heightened patrol in the area of Riedel Road in Crofton when they observed a 1998 Buick Park Avenue on Riedel. Officers initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle as it fit the description of a suspect vehicle that had been involved in recent theft from automobile cases. The driver of that vehicle was subsequently identified as Brandon Michael Smith, age 29, of Arnold, Maryland. Now, Mr. Smith gave officers consent to search his vehicle. Officers located burglary tools and several other electronic items inside of that vehicle. Smith was subsequently placed under arrest and charged for possession of those burglary tools, and his vehicle was impounded at our Western District station. Western District detectives then executed a search warrant on that vehicle, which led to the recovery of an iPad 2 that was reported stolen in a theft from automobile in the 2400 block of Powderhorn Way in Gambrels. Smith was also charged with theft under $1,000 and rogue and vagabond. The investigation is still ongoing. Now, last year, Smith, on October 24th of 2011, he was identified as a suspect who was involved in a theft from automobile in Crofton. This was after video footage of a vehicle break-in taking place in the 2300 block of Fairhaven Lane in Crofton was posted on the Anne Arundel County Police Department's Facebook page. Now, after posting that on our page, over the following days, the agency received several phone calls from the public, ultimately revealing the identity of the suspect, Smith, in that case. Now, folks, as always, if you have any information on crimes or suspects we mention on the show, don't hesitate to call, email, or text your tip to Metro Crime Stoppers hotline. It's available 24 hours a day, toll-free. That number is 1-866-7-LOCK-UP. Or you could text message MCS plus your message to crimes at 274-637. Your third option, visit the website at www.metrocrimestoppers.net. Remember, those phone calls are not recorded and callers remain anonymous. You might even be eligible for a cash reward of up to $2,000. Back to you.
Thanks, Justin. It's good to hear that one less guy is out there stealing cars. Nice job, Western District.
This week in Hot Topics, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department responded to more than 1,402 calls for service. This included 1,107 emergency medical calls and 108 fire calls. This week, firefighters worked to extinguish a small fire in a Pasadena home, and 2 children were hospitalized after coming in contact with the power line. Division Chief Michael Cox has more. Chief.
Thanks, Kristen. The first incident occurred just before 10 a.m. on Thursday, September 13, 2012, when Anne Arundel County firefighters responded to a reported dwelling fire in the 1000 block of Kings Road in the Riviera Beach area of Anne Arundel County. The first unit to arrive on the scene of this incident reported visible smoke coming from a 1-story single-family dwelling. At that time, an interior fire attack was initiated by the first arriving crews when they advanced a hand line into the interior of the dwelling. In all, it took 23 firefighters about 10 minutes to bring the one-alarm incident under control. There were occupants in the home at the time of the fire. In fact, the fire was discovered by one of the residents who attempted to extinguish the fire with a fire extinguisher without success. However, all of the occupants did escape from the home without injury prior to the fire department's arrival. The fire, which caused an estimated $20,000 in damages, has been determined to be accidental in nature and has been attributed to a child playing with a lighter. In the second incident, 2 boys were hospitalized on Monday, September 19, 2012, after coming in contact with a power line. The incident occurred around 12:30 p.m. when Anne Arundel County firefighters responded to the 600 block of Randall Road in the Severna Park area of the county. Upon arrival of the first firefighters on the scene, they found 2 young boys who were estimated to be about 10 or 11 years of age who had received an electrical shock after playing with a bamboo stick when it came in contact with a power line near the B&A trail. In this case, both patients suffered minor injuries. One patient was transported to the Johns Hopkins Children's Center in Baltimore via ground ambulance, and the second patient to Anne Arundel Medical Center in Annapolis. Kristin?
Thanks, Chief. County fire officials are reminding folks to keep matches and lighters out of reach of children. If you want additional information or materials regarding home fire safety, call the Fire Department's Fire Safety and Injury Prevention Office at 410-222-8303.
Well, folks, last week you got to see our own Mark Chang on a camel. This guy, is there nothing that he won't do for our viewers out there?
Steal my camel.
There you go. Well, now he's out at Sun Valley where there's something new for visitors to see, and I believe our own County Executive John Leopold is out there with him. Let's go out to Mark Chang.
Thanks to both of you in the studio. We're out here over at the Sun Valley community over on the east side of Glen Burnie, and with me today I have the County Executive Leopold and also a large group from the Sun Valley community. It's a great community where they're celebrating a great milestone, and they've been serving the community for 50 years. 50 years out here doing a lot of great things out in the eastern part of the county. I want to turn it over to County Executive. County Executive?
Good to see you, Mark, and thank you for being here today and joining all the members of this community association. This is truly an example of where a few people over the years pull together and help their fellow neighbors. It's always a few people that take it upon themselves to do the hard work, and I know you've been doing that for a long time. Sun Valley is an important community to me because I was first elected when I lived in this community 30 years ago, so that's 30 of the 50 years, and I lived on little apartments over here on the Mountain Road. But I know of the hard work that the leaders of this community have put in for a long period of time, and I didn't want this occasion to go by without being here personally to congratulate you on your 50th anniversary. And now, if I could, I'm going to hand this over to Mr. Senate. Bill, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Leopold, and thank you for coming today. Good afternoon, and thank you for meeting me here at our Sun Valley sign area, which beautifully serves as our community cornerstone. Even though this event has been placed on the back burner for about 2 years, today we are thrilled that we can officially unveil and dedicate a bronze plaque which commemorates the first 50 years of the Sun Valley Improvement and Recreational Association, known as SUVIRA, an involved community of people helping people. At this time, I'd like to recognize the current members of the Executive Board. Ron Wayne, Vice President. Jen Lyons, Second Vice President. Bobby Geisigum, Treasurer. Ann Wayne, Executive Secretary. And Dick Bosler, our Sergeant at Arms. Each of these 5, along with me and 20 other volunteers, represent significant spokes in the wheel that we call SUVIRA. Together, we share a dedicated spirit and vision, ensuring that Sun Valley remains a community that anyone would be proud to call home. I would also like to recognize Skip and Cookie Welch, right over here. Skip served as treasurer for 20 years and single-handedly kept the association afloat even when the community interest had turned the other way. Skip and Cookie have been hands-on involved with the association for 3.5 decades, including being instrumental in having this sign erected in the early 1980s. There have been so many executive boards over the past 50 years that volunteer to represent and build this community association, and I am proud to be currently serving as president as we work for continued improvements to be enjoyed for many, many years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to unveil our plaque, and with a round of applause, we thank everyone who had anything to do with getting us to where we are today.
Thanks, Mark. 50 years. Can you believe it, Kristin?
No, I can't.
50 years. I haven't even been alive 50 years.
You haven't?
No.
Oh.
No. Have you?
No.
Oh,
Well,
I
we
was
know
gonna say,
someone
you
who
look good
has.
for it. We
Oh,
do know
thank
someone
you.
who has. We do know someone who has. But we're not going to mention his name on air. He'll get embarrassed. We embarrassed him too much last time.
Gosh.
Well, I tell you, Kristin, we have so many active community organizations
We
in
do.
the county, and Sun Valley is definitely one of the best and most active.
Well, for those of you caring for a loved one at home who has a chronic disease or can't get around well, there is help available for you. You spend all of your energy helping someone else, but it's also important to take care of yourself. Mary Felter is with Mary Chaput to talk about upcoming caregiver support workshops. Mary.
Thank you. Today my guest is Mary Chaput, who is the director of our National Family Caregiver Support Program at the department, as well as the Respite Care Program at the department. Welcome to Week in Review.
Thank you for having me.
I wanted you to come today to let our viewers know about the Caregiver Dementia Series workshops that are coming up. And I particularly like the title, which is called Living in the Land of Oz. So I'd like you to let us all know why you chose that title.
Well, Mary, we thought it was a catchy title, and we've actually used it for a couple years now. So if people are familiar with it and they know what to expect. And we know that when you're dealing with anyone with dementia, you are living in a totally different world, and most of the time it's a world you're not prepared to, just like Dorothy in Oz. She wasn't prepared for where she landed, and that's how our caregivers feel.
I know the first section of it is called, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. Like the tornado, you end up where you don't expect to be.
Exactly, and when you land, you're trying to find your way around, and where am I supposed to go, and what am I supposed to do from here on out. So we're trying to provide that information to folks, and in that first session, what we're talking about is the different kinds of dementias, and most people don't realize there's over 70 different kinds of dementias.
Oh, my heavens.
Alzheimer's is the one most people are familiar with.
And then the second one is called Follow the Yellow Brick Road, and I know that's kind of like you were talking, people with dementia are lost in their own world, and that you need to accept that they're not going to come back to your world.
That's exactly right. We have to follow their pathway. We have to follow their road. And oftentimes they're someplace that they were many, many years ago. And if you're a spouse, you might be familiar with that place, and you can go back with them and relive those times and those good memories. If you're an adult child taking care of a parent, that's a whole new territory for you that you might not know anything about. So it can be a good time, because if you can relax and go back there with them, you can learn a lot about the person that you're caring for.
And lastly, the third workshop is called There's No Place Like Home. There's no place like home. I understand people tend to request to go home a lot.
They do. That's one of the behaviors. They ask to go home, even if they're living in a home they've been in for the last 30 or 40 years. Home to them is where they feel safe. And most of the time they're going to associate their mother with that. So they want to go home to where mom is. And again, it's another behavior that caregivers have to deal with, that they're unfamiliar with. Sometimes they take it personally. And it's just like other behaviors that they might have difficulty with bathing and with changing clothes. So in our last workshop, we're going to give the caregivers some clues on how to deal with those situations and some tips for them to change their behavior so that we can avoid those situations altogether.
I know sometimes you don't understand why you have to repeat something time after time after time, or you get the same question from the person many, many times.
That's right, and that part of their brain is gone. They don't remember something from minute to minute, and they can't learn things. So that's one of the important things that we teach families, that they are no longer able to learn things. So you may buy that big remote that looks so easy for you to use. They can't learn how to use that.
So you're going to really help the caregiver learn how to adapt to working with the dementia patient.
That's exactly right.
And trying to make their life a little bit easier.
And if you make their life easier, you make your life easier too.
Absolutely. These series of workshops are free, correct?
That's correct. And we're able to offer them at no cost because of the sponsorships that we get. Now, Mary, you know that we don't endorse any particular vendor or business here in Anne Arundel County. However, we're grateful that we have Summerford Place of Annapolis, Heritage Harbor Health and Rehab, we have Home Instead Senior Care, Future Care Chesapeake, and I know I'm forgetting one here.
Oh,
so
let's see if we get out on the list here.
We have Genesis Healthcare LLC that are sponsoring these workshops for us.
They're going to be at different senior centers throughout the county.
That's
between
right.
now and when?
We're going to start them on October 1st in Annapolis, and we finish up in December. So we're actually covering all of October, November, and December. There's workshops that are held in the daytime, and there's workshops that are held in the evening so that we can try to make them available for all of our caregivers.
People can sign up online now, can't they?
That's right. They can go online for the information, for the dates and times, or they can give us a call. But if they go online, it's www.aacounty.org/aging, or they can call us at 410-222-4464, extension 3043.
I know that people will be glad that they've taken the course. I've heard from other people who have taken it in the past, and this is an excellent thing that you all do here at the Department of Aging and Disabilities.
I think it's a great course, and if any of our viewers have taken the course before, we really do invite them back. We have folks who come back year after year because they find out that their loved one is in a different stage of the dementia each year, and they can learn something new to help them every time they come back.
Well, I know that the department is trying to make it possible for caregivers to have a better understanding of dementia.
That's right. That's exactly what we're trying to do.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the program today and letting our viewers know about the dementia series called Living in the Land of Oz.
Thank you for having me.
This is Mary Felter, Public Information Officer for the Anne Arundel County Department of Aging and Disabilities. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Mary. Again, folks, we encourage you to take advantage of this resource. People who are caregivers are usually the type of people who are tough and don't want to ask for help. This is a great way to talk with other people in your situation and perhaps make things a little bit easier. So, how about them birds?
Birds. We got a lot of birds.
Talk about chickens.
Are you talking about West Nile? Are we talking about birds in West Nile?
Not talking about skeeters either.
You must be talking about the birds of September, the Oriole birds. And you know, you're talking about tough. You kind of closed that last segment out about, people that are being tough. These Orioles are tough this year.
They are.
And
crazy.
Normally in September, actually normally when training camp opens for the Ravens and the Redskins, for our Redskins fans out there, baseball season ends.
Yeah.
It's over. It's done with.
For us.
But not this year, folks. If you're an Orioles fan, if you're a Nationals fan, you got something to cheer about. You got two teams 30 miles apart from each other, right down 95 or up 95, whichever way you're going, that are going to be playing some postseason October baseball. And it's pretty exciting.
I'm really excited, and I know we keep breaking records. We've gone, I believe, is it 13 games, extra innings?
I think it's 16.
16 now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And it's just been wonderful. I mean, it's been very exciting. And as an Oriole fan, I don't think I've been used to seeing September ball for the Orioles since like the mid-90s. So this is great.
Yeah.
You know?
So who's your favorite Oriole, Kristin? Who's your favorite and why?
Manny.
Manny Ramirez. No, not Manny Ramirez. Manny Machado.
Yes.
I said Manny Ramirez.
Manny, the man Machado.
Yeah.
He's my favorite.
So the rookie.
Yeah, I used to be such a Nick Markakis fan, but
everybody likes Markakis.
I'm over it now. I want one of the new guys. So
okay, you're jumping
Manny.
from
I'm jumping
Oriole
from
to Oriole.
Yep, that's right. And I think I like him because he has a really good attitude. I don't know if you saw all the photos that were recently released, but they're hazing all the new guys.
Yeah.
And I think he's such a good sport about everything, and he's just such a promising player. Mark Reynolds too.
Yeah.
He's been doing a great job
here at the end of the season.
So I think that they're my favorites. What about you?
Well, I go back to the old Orioles. I like Rick Dempsey.
Okay.
I like Rick.
Yeah, Rick is
Nobody
great.
can top Rick Dempsey. And,
I didn't know we meant of all time.
Oh, well, now it's probably Matt Wieters. I like the catchers.
Oh, yeah.
I played a little catcher.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that.
Rec ball growing up, so I was a catcher. So I like the catchers. And Wieters is definitely a guy, like watching him pop it over the center field fence when he gets up to bat. So
that's awesome.
It's good. Glad to see those O's doing good.
Little Orioles magic.
Yep, and more Ravens magic out there,
yes.
folks. Ravens playing well. Well, folks, that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode online anytime at www.aacounty.org. Archive episodes are available at blip.tv and on YouTube. You can also subscribe to the free video podcast at iTunes or like us. Yeah, go ahead and do that on Facebook at Arundel TV. Please tune in again next week for more news and highlights from around your county. We'll see you next time.